tell for right now, I'm going to have Patrick share what
Uh,
else.
hey, Marianne, just I put the link in there for if they want to just click on the link wherever
I
they're getting it
actually
for
already put it in
donate.
the chat. I saw
Okay,
it.
all right, cool.
Don't worry, I'm pretty quick.
Ah,
I already put it onto my Facebook where they can actually get it because they can't actually get it from here. So that's okay. It's out in the chat, and if you need the link, I will get you the link. I will hook you up with
okay,
whatever you need. So please,
thanks,
if
man.
you feel so inspired, this would be fantastic. I do want to give Patrick a little bit of time to also tell you a little bit about his business and what he does as well, because he does some pretty cool stuff. So Patrick and I have these letters after our name because we're both in bank. We're bank code or code breaker. We will discuss that a little bit at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it is now 12:17 or 12:18. And we have a little bit more time. We're going to give some of that time to Patrick to let us know about what he does for a living, because he does. I want you to tell them about the video thing because I think that's the coolest thing ever, and then I can connect you to him if you're interested as well. And yeah, so we're going to talk about bank code later because we have Michelle, who is a mutual friend of ours, and she's going to be coming on, and we're going to be talking and explaining a little bit about bank code. So I just wanted to explain why we have that. Go for it, Patrick. Tell us well, not all about yourself, but a little bit about yourself.
Other than being involved in the most amazing thing, ever with Benedict,
Right. That's right.
I own a company called the Ranking Store, and it by its generation of the name, anybody that is selling anything or promoting anything on the internet has to have some means of making sure that somebody sees what it is that you're pushing, what you're selling, what you want to, what your service is. And so that's all comes down to ranking, comes all down to social, comes all down to a lot of different things. So at the Ranking Store, which is the rankingstore.com, which is in the chat, that's what we do. We take and whoever has a local business, service business, what you're doing, CLA, everybody that's selling a book, whatever. There's all kinds of different ways to be promoted. And the biggest problem that we see is that most individuals just really don't have a clue and waste a lot of time. And I don't mean that in a negative way. They just don't know, right? And so, they think, well, I could do this or I could do that, and it's going to make a lot of difference. In some cases, I get lucky and it really does, but if you want 1 million views on YouTube, you better know what you're doing. If you want to have, big social, engagement on your social platforms, you really have to know what you're doing. If you have a small local business and how many of you have ever done a search on your phone for a service, right? And if you do, the only thing that you do generally is that if what you're looking for is in the 3-pack, which we call the map pack, there's three businesses that show up. 95% of everybody never goes past those 3 businesses. So if you're not in that pinnacle of the tip of the iceberg and people are searching for you, they generally won't find you. So we work to make sure that people, kind of get found that way. And we develop our own products and we use them specifically to achieve these goals. And our products are all developed around Google. So if anybody wants a website, they go build a website. I don't build websites. I build Google sites, G sites. Okay. Because, hey, mama loves herself. She gives herself a lot more love than she does everybody else.
I love that.
You want videos, you go to YouTube, because who owns YouTube? Google, right? Absolutely. You want to take notes or whatever, you go to Google Note. It's just a cycle. But once you understand that everything works together, and for people that don't understand, the marketing and ranking perspective is that a lot of this works on backlinks. So what is a backlink? Okay. Right now, you, Marianne, are a backlink to Benedict. A backlink is a reference from somebody that's giving juice and love to somebody else via a mention, a like, or a link back to them with their keyword in it. So Google can see that the more people that do that, and the more people that have backlinks to themselves, and the more people that have those keywords in those backlinks, Google associates those keywords with the power of everybody and helps to raise them in up the mountain, to the peak of the mountain to be seen by other people.
I'm not sure I
So
fully understand what you said, but that's okay because I don't speak tech, but I think that's cool. That sounds pretty cool to me.
we'll put it this way. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you can do it by yourself, or you can have a tribe of people that are pushing you up to the top of the mountain. Okay. So a backlink is somebody pushing you up to the top so everybody else you can be seen by everybody else that's looking for you.
Cool.
You know,
So did you say that I'm one of those?
well, you are. It's, your influence is helping somebody else to reach a point because you're giving them your love, they're giving them your power. And because of that, Google sees that. And when you have a lot of people doing that, right, then that keeps pushing. It's like salt in water. You can walk on water if there's enough salt in it. You don't have to be Jesus. You can still walk on water to a degree. If there's 90% salt in the water, you can walk on it.
Right? There you go. That's how we can do it.
But the point is that that's how this works. The basic problem with that is that what works today doesn't work tomorrow, right? It will not work tomorrow because Google is always changing. Thank you, Marianne. Appreciate that. And so we have to always be on the constant lookout for what's happening. So in light of what trends are and what everything else, I'm gonna give a couple examples of what we're doing. So you can go to Hey, Hey, you can type this in a chat, GEN, heygen.com. So
Hang on.
if there's a
Can you do that again, honey?
Hey, Hey, GEN,
G
GEN.com.
Hygen.com.
Heygen. It's called Heygen.
Hygen, sorry, Hygen.com.
Okay, so if there's 1,000 of us that are listening right now today, how many of 1,000 people absolutely love to dig in, create scripts, mark up their scripts, get all dressed up, get in front of the camera, and start to do, a YouTube video to sell something? And there are plenty of people on some of these channels that love to do that, but 97% of people hate doing it. Okay. So to overcome this process of hating to do this, there is now technology whereby we could take this conversation that we're having right now, doesn't matter what we say, we can upload it to HeyGen. And then within that process, if we ever want to send another video out, we want to do a training, we want to do something, if we just want to push it out, not have interaction with people, all we have to do is type a script based on, the guidelines, upload it to their platform, and within 5 minutes, you will be talking, speaking, looking exactly like you are doing the video on your own by yourself, but you're at the beach with the kids. And nobody will know that it isn't you. Okay? And you saw that in action at the conference, right? So think about how much time that would save you, how much prep time it would. I mean, ask who's coming up next? Michelle. Ask her to play her video. But we did one for her. We've done them for a lot of people to save so much time. Now, the other part of it is if you want to, and if you have salespeople or you don't like to be a salesperson, but you do want to sell your product, something new on the market right now that we are working with to help individuals is called air.ai. Okay. So you want to do an experiment, Marianne? You have a minute? You want to do an experiment?
Hang on, I was just putting it onto my Facebook page, the agent.
Okay.
Is it anything to do with techie?
No, you have to open up a browser.
Dear, why me?
Well, because we want to show people how simple it is.
I know, but
Share your screen, open up a browser.
yes, that'll be better.
This is fun
Yes,
because
it
I'm
is.
sure most people that are going to listen to this and see this do not know this exists.
Mhm.
So as you're doing that, we are replacing most of our salespeople. Okay. And the reason that we are replacing most of our salespeople,
I don't know how to do this. Hang on.
just open up a new browser.
I don't know what this is. Hang on just a
Oh,
second.
that's all right. Okay.
Karen, are you with me? She's way more techier than I am. Let me just get her because it
Oh,
will
yeah.
be far too long to do anything. I don't want to hold this up.
All
Sorry.
right. Well, anyway, everybody can do this later. It's okay.
Yeah.
You have to share your screen and go to a new browser and type in air.ai, air.ai. Okay. So you can stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
But what you're going to find is when you go to air.ai and you go to the middle of the page and you click on the recording button, you will hear and you will listen to a live conversation with a fake person, i.e. Air, who talks, smells, and walk, doesn't run, but can answer every single question in real time that the live person on the other end is asking about your product. 24 hours a day, every day. Doesn't sleep, doesn't talk, doesn't walk, doesn't go anywhere, just does your job every single time that somebody connects with him. So think if you could be everywhere at all times and still do what you want to do. Okay. So here's the cool thing about this is that we know from statistics that the closing ratio of whatever it is that you want to sell, it doesn't matter, whatever offer you want to offer, whatever book you want to share, whatever. Karen says she knows Air AI. Okay. Which is cool. So we are partnering with Air and we are building these platforms out. And I'm not going to say that they're cheap because they're not, they're very expensive, but like my sales team cost me $2,500 a month for a salesperson to take calls. I can build an Air AI campaign out for a one-time cost of around $5,000 and 25 cents a minute. And statistically, we are selling 6 times more than we are with a live person. Did you hear me what I said? 6 times more with our Air agent who knows 100% of our business because we feed all that information in. So when that conversation is taking place, our salesman who doesn't know the answer to the question and stumbles, our Air AI agent knows it right away and has the conversation with the people and they don't get off track. So the only reason I say this is that if you are not keeping up with the technology and the search capabilities and all the things that you must do to promote a business, unless you're a superstar on TikTok or unless you're a superstar on Instagram and that's your channel and that's how you do it, which is great. Okay. But for the 97% of the rest of us that struggle getting in front of people, there are certain things that we have to do to get in front of them to make sure that we're going to get enough sales, we're going to get eyeballs, we're going to get referrals. Like I've got over 2,000 people in our organization right now that buy our stuff. And we constantly, every single day, are with all of our members every day, Gary and I, and answering questions and helping them out and interacting with them. But that's only part of it. You have to get and find those people and get them into your sphere of what it is that you want to share. That's the marketing part. And that's what we do. So if you're struggling with how do I get seen? How do I sell more? How do I do this? I just don't know. Then, Marianne, from our relationship and what we're doing, that's what we do. And we're really good at it. Right. We've taken businesses that, are ranking number 15 in the charts and putting them up to number 1, 2, or 3 in the 3-pack, in like 3 months. And, their business has doubled and tripled, from that perspective. So I would just say that, from a marketing perspective, most of the people that you hear or listen to that are trying to sell you something don't know jack shit about what they're doing. Right? They're just trying to sell you something and build you a website and all this other stuff. And us as consumers, how do we know they don't know what they're doing? And the answer is you don't. And therefore you spend a lot of time investing in something that's not going to actually produce results for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was trying to see if Karen would be able to, but she's having an issue with her mic too. So anyways, it's all good. It's all good. It's great. You got
But
to
everybody that does it, just go to air.ai and in the middle of the page, hit the little blue button and listen to the conversation that the Air AI agent is having with obviously it's a made up scenario, okay? But it's a live made up scenario on the fly. And here's the other really cool part about it, right? And that is when you come through our funnel, and I'm going to divert to this in just a second. When you come through our funnel, I'm going to reference bank. Okay. So if you answer the ad, and we've all answered ads before, correct?
Yes.
All right. If I know when you answer the ad, Marianne, if I know, and I know this is going out to people who don't understand bank, but you're going to get into that later. And so if they hear this, they'll understand. But if I know what your code is, and I know that you are just somebody that I just want the, like the old TV show, just give me the facts, man. Just give me the facts. Right? I don't want any bullshit. Just give me the facts. Okay. If I start treating you with other than the facts, I lose you, you're gone. Right? If you're someone that really needs to have a lot of knowledge about what it is that you're doing, and I gotta, kiss your tushy and all this other stuff, and I know that going in, then my conversation with you is completely different. Right? So I want you to think about this, and I know it's going to be strange for everybody that's listening, but when we create our ads, we create ads specifically designed around the bank codes, or these, I don't say personality codes, they're buying codes. What makes a person buy, right? If I know what makes you tick and what makes you buy, I can create an ad that only talks about what it is that makes you buy. I can get rid of all the crap that goes along with the fluff that goes in these ads and only concentrate on what's important to you. So once I bring you down to the end of that funnel, if this is making sense to everybody, right? Once I bring you down to the end of this funnel, what choice do you have? You can either ignore everything that is you and say no, or you have no other choice but to say yes, right?
At least out of curiosity, at least.
So statistically wise, and we have proof of this, we ran a campaign for a dental group, and we're running some campaigns right now for bank on a test scenario, and we're getting 7 times more engagement in sales, 7 times, right, than our regular ad that we're running side by side. And it's the best ad that's out there for the product that we're trying to sell, because we took it right off of Facebook, running it side by side with ours, and we are crushing it because we know when they answer the ad that we created and the question that we've asked, it goes right into their code, and the rest of all the information that we send them, everything is speaking directly to that code. We don't deviate one bit, right? And so like we're up 7x on just on our test case that we have right now. That's how you got to think about marketing. You have to think, there's another thing, just a quick point. If you have a website and if you have a business, and I'm going to challenge you on this one, Marianne. Okay. How many of the mobile products that are out there are you tied into their search engine?
I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. All right. You know about Alexa, right?
Yes.
You know about Siri, right?
Yes.
And you know about the other 5 of those that are out there that
Cool.
when people pick up their phone,
Mhm.
what is the nearest beauty parlor near me? They don't search anymore.
Mhm.
They phone search. And if
True.
we understand and we believe that to be true, because you all are doing it, every one of you, okay, you've got to be organized and you have to be optimized so that you can be found in phone search. Forget the internet search, forget the maps, forget the web pages. Who gives a crap about a web page when 70% of all the people that have phones are searching on their phone and they're asking their bot, their Siri, their Alexa, whatever they have on their phone. I'm surprised she's not talking to me right now because I'm saying it, okay? But check into and I'll put this link in the chat, okay? And you could do a search if you own a business, right? And you have a local address. You can go to this site that we built,
I'll put it up on Facebook in the chat.
citationfactory.com,
It's coming.
okay? And then you put it in there. You have to have a business name. You got to be able to be found by your business, and you have to have a GMB, right? So if you put that in there, it will give you a report on everything that's wrong with your business, and it will tell you how well you are seen in mobile search,
Okay, we got this one.
right?
Mhm.
Because if you're not seen in mobile search, you're losing a majority of the traffic to somebody else that is. So that's a tip that every one of us that we have a business, if we have a GMB or we have anything at all that people are searching for, you've got to be listed in the 5 services that are mobile search, and they call them citations, so that I'm sitting at home, I'm watching TV, and I say, hey, Alexa, what's the best place for Italian pizza? And then she's going to pop up and go through the search and find out the one that's near you with the best ratings and tell you who it is. That's it. Plus all the other cool stuff that we do that that we're not going to get into because it's too deep.
There's so many awesome things, and all of us are in bank from here on in. So Patrick and I are in it. Jose, who is speaking after this, is in it. I believe Karen is also using a portion of it, and then Nikki is at the end. She's already in it. And then Michelle will be joining us. I don't know if Dr. Andrea is going to be able to make it because she's at another event. So it's a little bit scrambled today, but that's great. And I know how crazy. Okay, I'm super busy, people. Okay, super busy. Patrick does not sleep. And when he does the odd time fall asleep, it's for what? No more than 3 or 4 hours. I don't even know
That's
how.
about it.
I
Yeah,
don't
about
even
3 or
know
4.
how he lives off of that. But I want to thank you so much for coming on here. And again, okay, now I'm going to talk about the supplements a little bit. So I know you have to go. So thank you so much. Thanks for bringing Ben on, and thanks for coordinating that whole thing, because I've been trying to get you guys on here for a bit. So this worked
Yeah.
out.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very much.
everything you
Appreciate
do.
it.
Love you. Have a great day.